Hey, I don't know if this is working. Let me just check to see. Let me show you my face for a second. Charts, schmarts. Um, I'm going to show you something that, again, 25 years into this, still find this stuff completely amazing. Like that chart you're looking at right there, UVXY collapsed after the Fed meeting, went all the way back down, and then look at the retracement to the VWAP. Even though this isn't a VWAP product, it's still amazing. But I want to show you something even more amazing. Let me make sure if I can see if I can figure this out. And let's get the camera going. Oh, wrong thing. Let's go back. That's me. I don't know what you're seeing right now. That's my stupid face. Now let's see if I can get it to screen share again. And now it should be out there. All right. Let me see if that gets this going. Hey, what's up? All right. So let me see if I can get this to work right away. This isn't the chart I wanted to show you. It was CVS. I want to just show you CVS. This is one of the more boring days we've had of the year, but still, Fed came out. As long as the Fed doesn't say anything really awful, UVXY generally falls. So that was a decent trade. But this was the one that came out of nowhere. This is CVS. The market was basically meandering around, but you got capitulation under the VWAP right there. Kind of look like a stop hunting program right there. Flip, flip, come right back. Next thing you know, you're breaking. Here's your multi-day. I wasn't convinced to buy it until it tried to rally, pulled back, held the multi-day, and then broke back out. So for me, there's a little mini range break. But then more importantly, the stock was going green. So it was going 1 minute multi-day into a possible green reversal, and then it broke the half number right here. This is where it struggled a little bit as it was debating whether or not to break the half. And again, if you're a day trader, all you're looking to do is get paid. And there's your payday. But this was the sick thing. I'm not a fan of trying to pick lows. I don't mean to be redundant here, but the stock is lows. I don't try to pick lows. I usually like buying stocks that are gapped down because in a bull market, nothing ever stays down. This one happened to stay down. All right. You had some choppiness in the pre-market, and then it tried to hang in there for a moment at the opening range right here, but then it broke down and it looked like it was just a shakeout. So at this point right here, the price was 99.58. So we figured let's give it a shot here at 99.65 on the way back up and use that half number as the out. And as it starts to rally, we're thinking, all right, maybe it retraces to the VWAP. But as soon as it started rolling over, we got out. But there was a positive trade in there. But that's not what I wanted to show you. Later on in the day, as it broke down and broke down again, finally came back into some of our ranges. So we bought it off the bottom of the range here, got to the VWAP, sold it. Rolled back over. We bought it again at the bottom of the range, broke the bottom of the range, sold it for a loss. Then what did it do down here? Starts to form a new range, right? Just bottoming out. So when it got back to the bottom of the range, we tried it again using the low print as our out. So if we're buying it here again, 97.90, spikes back up to 98.20, that's a payday right there. So in this stock that really doesn't seem like it did much, we kept scalping it for, 20, 25 cent wins all day. But here's the sick thing. It finally rolls over, tries to get back above that range, and then collapses. You're thinking there's no shot in hell you should be looking at this anymore, right? Look what happened into the close. This is your VWAP. So let me just make it really just awesome. Clear all this stuff that we were looking at, right? So here's the last breakdown price, right around there, right? And then it tried to consolidate. It broke down again. Failed to get back over that new range. And then suddenly this thing's at the lows of the day, sitting there. No reason to think anything else but $95, maybe lower. But guess what happens? My favorite trade in the world. A range break, reversion to the VWAP. Look at this move. out of nowhere. And again, this is why you don't have to pick the bottom. Let the bottom pick itself. Who the hell thought this thing was going to, stop going down here? Nobody. I don't know if you can even hear me doing this, but can you guys hear me? I don't know if this is on. Actually, I'm not sure if any of this is working right now. Half the time, I have no idea if anyone's paying attention to me. All right, cool. But I will be at the Benzinga Traders Summit on June 20th. If anybody wants to spend, I think it's $1,500 to come and see me. I'm like a high-priced whore now. You guys get me live for nothing every day. Oh, sort of every day. But here, check this out. So again, I'm not going to pretend I was in this. Some of my guys traded. I was already buying fish at the fish market. I left the house. The crazy thing is I left the house right at around 3:30. And I went 5 for 6 on this stock. So generally I'm looking to, I like trading stocks that were nice to me. So again, here's your breakdown price was around 96.50. You tried to get back over it there and failed. You fell a whole point more. This is a dollar right there. And then this miraculous comeback. So right there, when it breaks back above the range it broke down from, you're a buyer here at 96.50. This bad boy retraced right to the 1 minute, almost to the penny. And if you're not convinced this move is completely algorithmic, and they just they typed it in, okay, if 95, enter, VWAP retrace, and go. And this market is completely just built on algos. It really is. And there was just, there's one more trade I wanted to show you because this stock has been on fuego, and I want to show you why I still like it. VERI. For an $8 stock, this thing is a mover. You guys remember this one? Collapsed. Here's your 5-year, here's your 3-year chart on this bad boy. $74 stock went back to $3. But that's where I come in. This is what we call the exhaustion situation formation, right? You go, let's go. I'm going to show you maybe on a, that's a 3-year chart. I want to show you the 1-year chart on this thing. You know what? 1 year should be good enough. Here's 1 year on a daily. And you're going to see, here's your bottoming range, right? The longer you stay in the bottom of a bottom range, the better the breakout is. So, nobody's picking the lows, right? But this is where it kind of broke down from 636. Look at this move right here. You broke 636. You went right to the 1-year VWAP and got rejected, right? And then you rolled back over. But what did you do? You kind of held that new range that it formed right here, right? So I'm a buyer where? 750 the other day as it got back above that 1-year VWAP. And I hate swing trades, but right now, still in this one, because now that you broke back out and you broke the recent highs, there's no reason to think this thing doesn't get to that $10 area. And again, we're only talking about 45 more cents. But if it breaks back over 10, look at this next area. You're looking at $12.19, and then you got a gap to fill at $13.70. So what are you risking here? If you're buying this thing, again, now 950 is a little bit different from buying it at 750. If you're buying here at 750, you're looking at what? Maybe 675 as you're out. You're risking 75 cents for a stock that could possibly go up 2, maybe 3, maybe 5, maybe 6 points. Why not? And so far, so good. So I got a couple of swing trades on. I don't know if you guys have been, I've been mentioning this stock for about a year. If you follow my posts, INSG, I even bought more today. This is the last I'm buying it. Again, that's enough. I bought it for $4.20 on the way back up, bought $4.50, bought $5, bought $5.25. I bought more today at $5.43. And, this is my 5G play. A lot of guys that I know on the street are liking this stock, and it's, again, that doesn't mean it's going to work, but there's some powerful people behind this thing. And I think it, had a little kick in the ass today because something happened with Qualcomm. So I guess people went to INSG today. But, again, these multi-year VWAPs have been coming into play. This is your 1-year VWAP at 429. That's really your support now. Again, I really hope to see this thing. I don't mind if it pulls back to 5 again. but I'd hate to see it breaking back under that 430. I don't plan to sell this. And if we get past 6, I actually still might buy more, looking for all-time highs, which on this thing is at the high 689 all-time high. And the only other stock that I own, which started out as a pump and dump, but convinced me that it might not be a pump and dump, is AXSM. Look at this crazy, sick bastard of a stock. AXSM, only stock, and again, I own Funko, but we don't talk about Funko anymore. First rule of Funko, we don't talk about Funko. Here's your time frame. Let's go on a 10-year chart. You'll see this thing was just a basically, it got pumped once before, and then it crashed. I think there might have been one more pump in there. Let me see the lifetime of this thing. No, that's about it. Yeah, you had the one pump, crash, and then this thing, you had a pump up, and then a dump. And right in that moment, when it went from $2 to 8, and then the next day it was back to 6, there was no way you're thinking, this is not a pump and dump. Every time you see something called something therapeutics, something pharmaceuticals, something biotech, usually it's a pump and dump. But what did this one do? It never broke back below its low print from where it pumped, and then it broke a new high, and then it broke out, and then it started to pull back, and it held the prior lows, and then it broke out again. So this thing is what I call self-legitimizing itself. Okay, you got an ass crack breakout here from 1060, consolidation break, pull back, consolidation breakout, little consolidation breakout. And even though it looks like a parabolic chart, it's not as parabolic as you think. So bottom line is, I've seen this happen before. One was SRPT, stock that came out of nowhere. It looked like a pump and dump. Next thing you know, it got pumped, it got dumped, it got pumped, it got dumped. And then next thing you know, this is a legitimate stock that went from $8 to $176 a share. I'm not saying AXSM is going $100 a share or $200 a share, but I've seen that pattern before, and that's the kind of pattern of a stock I want to own. And again, I know nothing about it. I'm going to call the company tomorrow. I'm going to do my due diligence video, have some fun with that. I'm going to call them. And then I'm going to call Yext because they're reporting earnings. So I'm going to call them and see what their story is. And we're going to do some prank phone calls. So if anybody has any companies you want me to call to find out, do my due diligence, I love making those phone calls. There was one other trade today. It was Qualcomm coming off lows later in the day also. Here's the Qualcomm. Again, this one held the bottom of the range, rallied back to the VWAP, and then it broke. And then this one again looked like that was all she wrote. This one's going right back down some more. Caught a bid. Next thing you know, range break, and now you're back. And I finally traded it here at 68.80 to get back to around 69.20. It got to the VWAP, starts to roll over. I sold it in here. And by the way, if you think all of our trades, and again, I don't cherry pick these trades. I only did a few trades today, but just want to let you know, Alibaba has owned my life. Okay, just to keep it real for a second. You know how much I was loving Alibaba down here when it held the multi-day VWAP. I loaded up in the hundreds, got more of the the 120 break. I had more at 150, 180. Basically, that's me at 211.70. And that was me getting absolutely annihilated in the trade. And you want to hear, this is the saddest part of this thing. I finally traded it again. After all of this beautiful movement, I finally bought it right around the 190 because I figured, all right, I guess if it breaks 190, it's going to go for 200 again. And I got crushed again. So, man, I hate this stock. I don't think I've hated a stock more than Alibaba in my life at this point. More than Dry Ships, more than Penson and Leapfrog and whatever, every other stock. This stock has owned me. from taking one of my best trades ever and turning it into a shit show to just being just on the wrong side of this thing since, I don't know, I guess about a year now. Yeah, it's basically a year. I've been on the wrong side of this trade for a year, and I'm giving up. I'm never going to be able to figure out how to make money in Alibaba. And that's it. So y'all, if you happen to be in New York City, I'll be there June 20th, hanging out with Nigerians and the whole rest of the crew. Should be a lot of fun, doing live trading. And anybody wants to hang out with us, remember, next week is a new month. You get a free month on me. If you like what you see, join the family. All right? That's all I got to say today. Very slow day, but we banged out a couple of days worth of profit. And that's all we try to do. So I still got some INSG, got the Funko, got AXSM. And I'm thinking about buying Yext as soon as the numbers are coming out. So I'm going to call these companies, do my due diligence. I like Yext. I like what that company does. I'm going to just do a little bit more research because obviously I'm not going to hold it into an earnings report. All right. I'll see you guys tomorrow. And if anybody wants to join the room, just go to hitthebid.com, put your email and phone number in, and the username is Wake Up. It's on me. Wake up. All right. Have a nice day, everybody. I'll see you in cyberspace.